your listing gets 0 views. This is a problem that so many, especially first-time resellers, face. And I don't like seeing people face these problems, so I'm here to explain and show you exactly why your listings might get 0 views, what is bad about it, what's good about it, and how you can fix that issue to maximize your views in no time. But before we begin, it's important to know that there are 2 different types of listings, and they have both different types of components. The first one is the shop catalog. When you click on Facebook Marketplace, you see all these little square boxes. That is the shop catalog. And in the shop catalog, there's 4 components that the user will see: the title, the price, the thumbnail, and the location. If you're not getting any clicks on your listing, it means that one of those components is busted. And there are many reasons, many opportunities to destroy your thumbnail, your pricing, or your title. But before we get into that, let's look at the second type of Facebook Marketplace listing. The other way that potential buyers can see your listings is when you upload your listing on Facebook Marketplace, but you also post it in groups. When you do that, then they see a different format of your listing, which includes, of course, the thumbnail, the title, the location, the pricing, and it also includes the description. Now, it only includes the first sentence, or the first, I think, 20 or 30 characters of your description. But it is enough to give yourself a little bit more real estate to advertise your listing. The reason why somebody might not click on your listing, even though you post it in groups, is the same as with the previous one. It means that the person that scrolled and scrolled didn't find it interesting enough to click. In the next section, I'm going to go through all the reasons why your listing is not performing and how you can fix it so you start getting some views. We start with the title, a bad title, that is. The reason why a lot of people don't click is because your title is simply too vague. If your title is really vague, people will not click on it because they're not even sure what you are selling. Let's say you sell a computer, a high-end computer or a regular computer, and then you call your listing selling computer, it's for sale. Now this is a terrible title. Instead, get really specific with what you're selling. For example, your listing title could look something like that: Dell Optiplex 7070 SFF 1 i5-95, you get it. It's a lot of detail. Because the reason is simple: people who are buying computers are interested in those details. They want to know the components of the computer and the specifications of the computer. So you have to make sure to include those. There's also one more thing with the title, which I have to mention really quickly, is if you don't have a long title, people will not find it through the search function. So if you're selling a MacBook Pro, but you sell it as Apple computer, people who are looking for a MacBook Pro will not find it. So make sure to write descriptive titles. Now, a descriptive title will not save you if your pricing is wrong. The right price can make or break your listing. If you're selling an item that is worth $100 for, let's say, $120 on Facebook Marketplace, the likelihood that it will sell is low. People who go on Facebook Marketplace, they expect to pay less than in the shops. So if they see a premium price, oftentimes they are discouraged to buy. So if you price your items too high, the likelihood that you will get a click is going to be lower, of course. So always make sure to research the price and price accordingly. Now, for your clicks and for your sell-through rate, it's usually better to start at a lower price and get used to the market that you're selling in. And it might take a few tries. Like my pricing in the beginning was way too low. And oftentimes I sold the items for less than I could have. But it's a learning experience and you will get better the more often you sell. If you have a terrible thumbnail, even a good price will not save you anymore. Because you see, the thumbnail is one of the most important things because it is the eye catcher. It is the scroll stopper for your listing. And too many times I see people make so many mistakes when they do the thumbnails. I want to cry. It is terrible. Let me tell you what to avoid and what to do to nail your thumbnail for the next listing. First up, close-ups. Now, I don't know why, but so many people decide to do a close-up of whatever they are selling. Here, can you see anything? Probably not, right? And I don't get it. It is not serving you if you take close-ups as the thumbnail. The thumbnail should be a get to know each other. It should be subtle. It should be attractive, sexy, if you will. So make sure to get the whole item in the frame. The whole item. Not like that. The whole thing. It's easy, really easy. But people still don't do it, which I'm gonna show you later in the real life examples. And the mistake number 2 is filthy items. Clean your goddamn items. Clean them. I still don't understand why people sell filthy items. I can't believe I even have to mention that you should clean your item, but apparently I do. Because when I go for Facebook Marketplace, there's so many filthy items. If you take a picture of an item, even if you can't see the grains of soil and dirt with your naked eye, you will notice it if an item is cleaned or not. If you have filthy items, it will ruin your chances of getting a click. Bad lighting. So lighting is a quite important topic. Now you don't have to be a perfect photographer and really know your angles and stuff. That's not that important. What you need to be able to do is take a picture where the item is clearly visible. For that, you have some options. First one is to have a strong light at home. Now, if you're like me, I don't have one. I don't want one. So the second option is to use natural light. I'm in this hotel room right now and the balcony is giving me enough light to do the video. So if you take pictures, make sure to get good lighting. This way your item has proper contrast and you will get more clicks. The mistake number 4 is bad backgrounds. And I don't know again why they're doing it, but sometimes I see a listing and I can barely even make out what the item is because of all the junk that's in the back. But look, you don't need anything in the background. Best thing would be to have nothing in the background. Have a clean background. That's better than having a filthy one. And also some people, for some reason, they take the pictures outside on the grass and the soil and it doesn't look good. Like if you sell a pillow, you can sell the pillow either on a table or on a bed. That's pretty good. But you can't put it in the grass and expect people to want to click. So make sure that your background fits whatever you're selling. And bonus mistake is random people. And honestly, I just have to laugh every single time I see it. You see it with mirror pictures oftentimes. People take a picture and for some reason they think it's fine if you can see them. And it leads to pretty awkward situations. Like this other time, I see somebody take a picture and I was like, oh yeah, this looks good, I would buy it. And then I see their reflection and it's this dude in his underwear with his belly protruding out. And I'm like, you know what? I will skip that. So my tip here is to make sure that there's no people, no arms, legs, feet in the pictures and no other body parts. Always double check if someone is in the picture. Now for the pictures, the listings and the feed, one thing that's really important is to have a good first sentence. This has to be very, very simple. There's no magic CTA that you have to write down. All you have to really do is repeat your title and just say selling XXX item. This has worked so well for me that I just want to share that with you because I believe it will make a huge impact in your listing. And now here's something that most people don't know about, but is equally important to make sure that your listing gets a lot of views. And that is the post times. The worst time to post is when everybody is asleep. The best time to post is when everybody is browsing. And the reason for that is remarkably simple. So, Facebook has a certain algorithm. It wants people to stay on the website for longer. And one way of doing it is by looking at what people look at, engage with, and like. Facebook roughly calculates it this way. It takes the clicks and the engagement that the listing gets and divides it by the time that it takes to amass all these views. Now, if you get a lot of views in a very short time, Facebook will then think, oh wow, this dude has a good listing. And then will give you more clicks, more outreach, because it thinks that their customers, their audience, likes what you're selling. If that happens, good job. You get promoted and your item sells quickly. Now, if you post in the middle of the night, everybody's asleep, and you get like 5 views over the first 5 hours, then Facebook is not gonna recommend it to other people that much. And it will be way harder and slower to sell your listing. So always make sure to post on times when other people are awake. Now the best time I found personally is around 5 to 7 p.m. in work weeks, and the middle of the day is fine on the weekends. There's one more reason why you might get 0 views and has nothing to do with the previous points. This point is being shadow banned. Now, someone I know and work very closely with had this happen to him. He listed around 5+ items within a few hours, very, very quickly in rapid succession. Facebook picked up on this and thought that he is a spammer, especially because the listings that he posted were in the same category. Now, this is a big, big bummer, because once you do it and you get shadow banned, Facebook won't even tell you. You will just stop getting any views, no messages. I don't know how to lift the shadow ban. The only way that I know is to wait it out. So, best to make sure to not get shadow banned. One way of doing it is to always adhere to the community guidelines and also not to spam post your listings. Now let's go to another section where I go through real world examples to show you in real time what you can do to uplift and maximize the amount of views that you are getting on your listings. The first one I found is this one here. If I look at this thumbnail, straight away I can tell this picture is blurry. It is very zoomed in on the capacity of the trolley, which is nice. If you look at this picture here, this could have been the thumbnail. And I think this would actually be a good thumbnail. I'll probably go a bit further out, so I get the whole trolley in a square frame, and then it would be a decent picture. You see, when I look at the pictures now, here's what I would do. First of all, make the front shot, this picture, zoomed out. For the description, I wouldn't call it hand trolley. I would call it Saxon 250 kilograms hand trolley. This way, the title, as I said before, is way more descriptive, and the likelihood that this item will sell is way higher. Because you can see this guy was actually trying to sell it for 30 bucks before, but he didn't end up doing it and had to reduce his price to 25 bucks. I have the feeling if he does the changes which I mentioned, he could even sell it for 40 bucks. Okay, I found this listing here which we'll take a look at together now. Somebody is selling a stainless steel bench with small sink bowl. It's pending pickup currently, which I'm not too surprised about. Let's take a look what he's doing that actually got him to get to this stage. First up, we have the thumbnail, right? The thumbnail, while the lighting is not perfect, if you look at the thumbnail, you can see it's the whole bench in the frame. It's also very obviously cleaned, which makes it look very shiny and honestly quite nice. The description, the title is actually pretty alright, because it says very clearly what it is. And if you do something like that, your listing will probably sell too. I'm not familiar with the pricings of these items, but let's look at this Daytona utility card. If you look at the picture right here, thumbnail, the lighting is pretty good. It was photographed at a very nice angle, and you can see this seller actually cleaned the item. He cleaned it, which is fantastic. I love seeing that stuff. Very, very nice that they did it. Now, the title is Daytona utility card. It says the brand, which is great, and it says what item it is. If you could include maybe the size or the model or the version, that could be good. But honestly, I think this item can sell if the price is right. However, I don't know the price, so let's just see Daytona utility card, what the actual pricing of one of these bad boys is. This is one thing he could do better. He's selling the Daytona utility card for how much? For $170. However, if you buy it new, you get it for $220. See, if you would also take this description here, Daytona D3 SUC Heavy Duty 2 Shelf Utility Card, instead of his shortened description, his shortened title, the likelihood that he sells this item is way higher. So, by itself, generally speaking, good listing, but more descriptive title. And if you would reduce the price slightly, I would say even $140, it would make a big difference. Let's look at the next listing. Okay, let's look at the listing here of a walk machine. Now, this is what you see on Facebook Marketplace, walk machine. Straight up what we can see here is that the picture was taken outdoors and it's slightly blurry. And you also can't see the whole machine, which is not perfect. The price is really good. $50, good price. Another issue I have with this product listing though is it's called walk machine. Now, people will only see it if they actually look for a walk machine. I'm pretty sure that there's different names that people actually use to look for a machine like that. So I would also work on the title. When we look at this picture, this whole setup of the walk machine, I would not buy it just because I'm lacking so much information. It might be a steal. $50 for a machine like that, I think it might be good. But there's just so many uncertainties coming with that machine that I would not be purchasing it. I want to finish this video by showing you listings that I created, which went really, really well. This listing is for an LG 951 liter mirror finish quad door fridge freezer. That's a mouthful. Now, the thumbnail, as you can see, it's very small, it's not good. I put the fridge outside for this picture. The reason for that is because I couldn't put it indoors. However, even though it's outside, I made sure to actually put it somewhere where it doesn't look like crap. So the background looks okay. There's also a second fridge there, so it means that I probably know a bit about fridges. However, I think what really made people click on the listing was two things in this listing. It was not the thumbnail. The thumbnail was alright, but it wasn't the thumbnail. It was one, the title, because people knew exactly what I was selling, and two, the price of that item. Because Let me show you how much this fridge actually costs when you buy it new. This one here is the black glass finish version, not the mirror version, but it's the same fridge. This one sold for $4,200 new, or on the special it's $2,300. However, I sold it for $880, which of course is a bargain. It's a third of the price of the reduced price. Now this fridge is of course used and it's not in a great condition. However, because it was on a good price and the title was nice and the thumbnail was okay, what happened is people clicked on it fast. And that led Facebook to promote the listing. And what you got in the end is a whole 3,600 clicks on this listing. Also what I did is I listed it in 10 places, meaning I listed it in a bunch of groups. And if you list it in groups, the likelihood that it gets discovered is way, way higher. So make sure to list in groups, have a decent picture, thumbnail, all this kind of stuff. And the likelihood that you get 0 views on your listing will be reduced. If you like this video, make sure to check out this video next. In this video, I flipped 3 items in 7 days and make over $1,000 during that time. Now, in this video you can see exactly what I flipped, how much I earned for each flip, and if it was worth it or not. So I will see you there.